Hi guys, welcome to our new video day, which is now Thursdays. I'm just gonna wait a couple moments here and see if anyone joins me. I had to do today's a little later because things were a little wonky at home and I wanted to make sure I had enough time to prepare for you guys and in case I was late. So I know I said it would be 1 and we're like, right now it's 1, yay. So just as I always do, I just give it a few seconds and we'll see if we go. And I just want to remind everybody, if you're watching this later than 1 p.m. In Alberta, we're in Red Deer, Alberta. So if it's later than that, then you're watching the replay. So if I'm not doing any shout outs or saying hi or answering your questions in the video, that's just because it is the replay you're watching, but we will always do our best to answer any questions or comments that you leave for us, because we love you guys and that's why we're here and that's why we're doing this, to help you, educate you. It also helps us learn too, and it's a great way for us to reach out to you guys, because you guys keep us going and we wouldn't be here without you. So all right, now that I did my little typical ramble at the very beginning of the video, I am here today to talk about cards. I'm talking about the decks of cards, so your oracle cards and your tarot cards. So I want to talk a little bit about the differences between the two and how they can work together, as well as clearing them and clearing their energy and stuff, and different ways that you can use them. Okay, so I'm going to do my best. I'm still working on watching the comments as I'm doing this, so please bear with me if I don't answer you right away, okay? Santana, hint, hint. All right, so I did make notes today. Let's see if this goes a little smoother. So the first card I'm going to talk about is the Oracle card, because they're the most common. So Oracle cards, we have many Oracle cards that you can purchase here as well as tarot, but we're going to start with Oracle cards. Is not quite the same as a tarot card, so there's a difference between the two. They have two separate purposes, but they can also work together. So where tarot can have many renditions, remakes of an outcome, these are not. These are more specific to a question, more specific to right now in the moment. They're also a lot nicer. You know, Santana described it to me before. It's like getting a nice warm hug message versus the ugly, scary truth that some of us aren't ready for. So Oracle cards are a great way to start if you're learning to read, but they're also a great way to start if you're getting readings before you jump too deep in. So it just kind of getting your feet wet. It's a great way. So a lot of times with the Oracle cards, you will find goddess cards, like here, goddess cards, angel cards, and my personal favorite, if you guys know me well enough by now, the fairy cards. My other favorite, this is my deck, chakra oracle cards. You can find animal oracle cards, tree oracle cards. You can find all types of oracle cards that are specific, that have a theme to them. The reason why they have this theme is because they're designed to kind of grab your attention. What are you attracted to? Are you attracted to fairies? Do fairies resonate with you? Then go for a deck with fairies, because you're going to get better answers, because you're going to be better connected to that card. If your thing is goddess, if you're really into the inner goddess, find a goddess deck. If you really communicate well with the angels, Archangel Michael, Raphael, all of the good guys, angel deck, like this one here, which was my very first deck. I love it. That's the kind of the way that you want to go. So Oracle cards are more designed to connect you with what you're connected to, so that you can use those intuitions more freely and openly to get the answers that you want. So it's really important when you're shopping for Oracle cards to go with what you're attracted to. Don't let anyone ever force a deck on you. I mean, gifting a deck is the best way to get a deck. I learned that one too not too long ago, probably like a year ago. It's like, oh, I didn't know. I just wanted to buy them all because I have a shopping problem. But anyways, enough about me. So when you are looking for a deck, you do want to go, again, with something that resonates with you. If you're gifted a deck, that's even better. Most decks, they should be gifted to you. But buying one is perfectly fine. We live in the 21st century, so we kind of go with modern times, right? So anyways, the Oracle deck is here to teach us the tools for living in harmony, usually based on bringing your internal wisdom out. And revealing that inner journey within you. Okay, so the Oracle deck is about going within to bring it all out. to find out what journey you need to be on in that inner wisdom that you have within yourself. That is the main purpose around an oracle deck. So there is a lot of different ways to read an oracle deck, and the cool thing about all decks of cards is they come with books. And so in this book, you can actually read further details on what the cards are. You can also find in the beginning of every book, I guess in the beginning of every book, I just can't find it. All right, so steps. So I missed step 1, but like step 2, concentrate on the cards. Step 1 is typically ask a question or get grounded. So clearing your deck, clearing your deck is number 1. So we will talk about that near the end of this, about how to clear your deck. Number 2 is concentrate on your deck. I find doing a little grounding meditation, or, sorry, I got a hair in my face, guys, apologize. I find grounding meditation is a really good way to kind of get into the zone and concentrating on the message that I want to receive. Now, when we're reading cards, we have to remember that we're getting messages. We got to take what we get. So you're not always going to get the answer you want. You might get something that has nothing to do with your question. But a good tip is to write it down in a journal and then go back to it later and read it and see how it pertains. See if it did come up. See if it's now prominent to what's going on in your life. Because sometimes we'll get a message, but we weren't quite ready for it. But the universe, the angels, goddesses, fairies, they wanted us to know about it because it was about to happen. And sometimes we're just like, that card makes no sense to me. Just write it down and go back to it later. I can promise you, as long as you are taking the right steps to reading your cards and you have the right intentions between your cards, that message is for you. So trust yourself and trust the deck. Trust the angels or whoever it is, okay? So after you're done grounding and concentrating on your card, that's when you're going to go and ask your questions, and so on. So you shuffle the deck, and then it's going to go into the different ways that you can read your cards. So one of my favorite ways to read the cards, since we're still on oracle cards, because it's the easiest one to do. I haven't read tarot yet. I just know a little bit about them that I'm going to share with you, but tarot kind of freaks me out a little bit. It's very intricate, I guess, but we'll get there. I jump around a lot too. Hi guys, thanks for tuning in and watching. Okay, so my favorite way to read cards for myself is to, like I said, take my deck, clear it. If I hadn't already cleared it, put my own energy into it. And then I will sit down and kind of focus, get myself nice and grounded, focus on that question. And then I shuffle. And see, look, I already got a message that, or I'm a really bad shuffler. But I got, the first one that fell here was everything's okay. So I don't know if this is for you guys or for me, but that's the easy way. So if it falls like that, that's your card, okay? Everything's okay. Don't worry. It's all working out in a beautiful way. See? Nice messages to reassure you that everything's going to be okay, or good things are on the horizon, or what you need to focus on. So that's the easiest way. Inside the book that I was showing you, which I just kind of accidentally put in the box and I can't get out. In the book, there will be different little, I guess I want to call them schematics. There'll be different little, every deck's a little different. So here there's the shuffle, the choose a card. So you could also just take your cards, pick it up in the center and be like, that's my card, which they're upside down. Sorry guys, I'm a little hot mess today. So you can do that way, or you can do the 3-card spread. So in here, some of the books will actually show you pictures so you can see which one. This one here is just all written, so you have to read. So there's a 3-card spread, and then there's also the multiple decks in this one telling you how to do it. In the goddess cards, let's see if they have a little picture I can show you guys. Just bear with me. This one has been well loved. So this one here actually gives you tips on how you need to store your cards, as well as giving readings, not just doing it for yourself. So some of them are a little bit different. It all depends. There's variations on oracle card reading tips, upside down cards. Some decks will say upside down cards. It's all personal. The way I learned from the people I learned from, it doesn't matter if it's upside down or not. It's the same message to me. But I think it really depends on the deck, right? So this deck says stuff about upside down cards. So if you want to be really technical, you can go with that. I think at the end of the day, it's really all about you, okay? What you feel. Do you feel like that card means something different upside down? Then maybe it does. It's all about going in and trusting your intuition, okay? That's what card reading is. Card reading is all about your intuition and trusting yourself and trusting the deck, trusting the universe, trusting your guides, trust. And that's the hardest thing to do, I know. But playing with cards will help you build that intuition and will help you learn to trust yourself. Trust me, that's how I've learned that I'm not crazy. I am seeing these things and getting these messages, and all these wonderful things are happening to me because I started with decks of cards, and then I was afraid to read for people, and we had an event here, and I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to do it. And I just trusted that I was going to get the right messages, and you know what, I knocked it out of the park, and I have never gone back. I completely trust my intuition. I know that I have gifts to share, so Oracle cards will help you do that. So that's another thing that these things can really help you do. Just trust, okay? And like I said before, reminder, write it down. If it doesn't pertain now, it might pertain to later. It might be a message for somebody else too. Yes, yeah, I will talk about that in a minute, Santana. Right, so we got jumping cards, which I just showed you, cards that jump out. That's an immediate message. Go for it. So I like to do, when I'm reading for other people on Oracle cards, I'm going to go back to here. I like to do a 3-card spread, a past, present, future. But it doesn't necessarily have to be like past as in like 6 years ago, 16 years ago. It can be past as in like yesterday or the day before. So you have to really keep that in mind too. It might have been a past as in an hour ago, what's happening right now and what the outcome's about to be. I also like to do my 3-card spread as the issue, the issue, like the problem that you're having, what you need to do, and if you do it right, what will happen. Okay, so it's kind of like the past, present, future idea. So I would shuffle, and I would have the other person touch the cards to put their energy in it, and I would have them think about the answers. And then I would take the card back, I'd split it into, or I'd get them to split it into 3, and I would flip that card. That's how I do it. I find it works really well, but there are some books that will tell you different ways to do that 3-card spread. There's also books in our library. That's where these cards are from, by the way. There's books in our library that will also help teach you different ways to read cards and what they're all about as well. So if you want to learn more, come down, talk to us, check out our library, okay? I'll get more into that after, and I keep mixing up all of these decks now because I got a whole bunch in front of me because I didn't know which one I'd want. That's the problem with card reading. Once you start card reading, you're going to get addicted. You're going to have a lot of decks of cards. I'm just warning you now. All right. So that's pretty much the basics on tarot. Hopefully I didn't go too fast for you guys. Again, if you have questions, please leave a comment or come down and talk to us. Message our page, things like that will definitely help you out and give you the right direction if we don't know the answer. Okay, so let's move on quickly over to tarot cards. Now this deck hadn't been open. I was the first one to open it, and it was crazy. I didn't really want to open it because it wasn't open yet, but it's open now. I like opening things. Okay, I feel silly today. Sorry, guys. So tarot cards. These are a deck that I have here that is in our library that you can rent. So it is the New Orleans Voodoo Tarot. Doreen Virtue is the most common person to do cards, but we have other ones from, like the Chakra deck is done by Terry Hartman. This one is done by Louise Martin and Sally Ann. And we have some other ones, and I totally forget that lady's name. She's absolutely wonderful that we got to meet that made her own card here. She does her own drawings. So Santana, if you remember her name, please comment it. She does some amazing cards too, and we have them here for sale. And we have some signed cards from her too. Yeah, they're really kind of cool. All right, so anyways, back to it. Tarot cards. Now, tarot cards are different from oracle cards because they're a little bit more detailed. They can be specific, but they're also very wide open. These ones here are also not to give you that encouraging step in the moment. They're here to kind of give you that reading from point A to point B. What can happen, what might happen, what will happen. If you do this and this and this, and this is what's going to happen, etc., etc. So I was reading up on tarot cards, and they said a really cool thing that resonated with me, and I wanted to go over that. It said tarot has more renditions of the outcome than oracle cards, so more remakes. So tarot can give you more options, which can be good and it can be bad. If you're not in the right place, you can end up taking those messages wrong. So you need to really be able to dial yourself back, and pinpoint those tarot cards, or the reader needs to really be able to be good and intuitive to really pass on what those cards are telling you, okay? Because there's so many different renditions of it. Debbie Anderson is the other one we have oracle cards from. All right, so this one will have, like I said, tarot is a lot more detailed, down to the specifics. And yes, Doreen Virtue is discontinuing her current cards too, so you're gonna have to watch out for those different styles coming in for sure. Anyways, sorry. Tarot has the more renditions of the outcome, has more details, and it's often the past can come up leading to where you need to go. So this is going to come up with the past and the struggles and where you need to go. It's going to tell you things like, this is the past, these are your struggles, and if you don't do something, this is what's going to happen. So it can be a little bit different. This one is more, let me slow down for a sec. This one's more like, you need to find the pond in the forest to be awoken, okay? So literally, you need to go find the pond in the forest. That's what you need to do. That's what tarot is going to do. Where oracle card is going to help you find that inner journey, that inner self-healing, to be able to find the pond that the tarot wants you to find. I hope that makes sense, but that's really the best way to describe the differences between the two. So the reading can often show more than one question as well. So you might be asked here to ask a question, but it's going to show you other things that you should be. So these are the questions you should be asking if you want the answer to that question. So it can be a little bit more intricate in that way. So it's about putting the puzzle pieces together with tarot. It might, oh yeah, so sorry. A tarot deck also, there might be 50 cards in an oracle, there might be 70 cards in an oracle. So there can be so many different cards in an oracle deck, where tarot is almost always 78 to 80. It really depends on the deck. They usually average 78, but you might have some sort of special deck that has certain cards that are specific to that intention or that meaning or whatnot. Like there's a fairy tarot deck, there's this New Orleans tarot deck, things like that. So, but a traditional tarot deck has 78 cards. This one here is 79 because it's a specific intention, so it has extra card in it to specify this type. So like I was going to say, these two can actually work hand in hand. You can use tarot and oracles cards at the same time. So using these together, a tarot, for example, like I said, will tell you that you need to go find the pond, where the oracle deck's going to tell you what you need to do within yourself to be able to get to the point where you can find that pond. So you can do your tarot reading, and then after your reading, you can use your oracle cards, or before your reading, or however you'd like to mix and match it. Again, it's all about using that inner intuition. And that's really, hopefully that answered you guys' questions between the difference between the two. Okay, so I guess a very simple way of describing it is oracle cards are in the moment, a little bit more lovey-dovey, a little bit more pat you on the back, you got this kind of thing, where a tarot deck is going to go a little deeper, a little darker, a little harder to figure out, more like a puzzle. Okay. Playing cards originated by the tarot. I think what she's saying there is that originally tarot decks were illegal. Like that was witchcraft. You didn't do that, you know, because you would get burned at the stake. Like that didn't happen. So to read tarot, they actually used playing card decks. So when people came by while the reading was happening, they would just think they're playing cards. So a deck of cards is the original tarot deck, right? So it's kind of a cool little fact. Thank you, Santana. Okay, so I already talked about the difference between the cards, and I already kind of talked about how to use them. Again, with tarot, this is kind of intimidating. With tarot, there's also a book, okay? So all your decks, I have yet to find a deck, so I shouldn't say all decks because I might be wrong, but almost all the decks, any deck I've ever found, comes with a book, which I absolutely love. And so in the beginning of it, it tells you really how to use. It tells you what the roles of some of the things are, what the extra stuff. So there's always that introduction. Okay. I always recommend before doing Oracle or Tarot, always read the introduction. You can dive right in and play if you want. You're not going to hurt anyone. This isn't a Ouija board. We're not summoning anything. So you can go ahead and play with it. But if you truly want to understand your deck, I highly recommend reading that intro. This will also tell you how to lay out your cards, and then as you get into it, it will tell you what each card means. It's going to take a lot of practice to remember what these cards all mean. So always reference your book. There's no big deal. You can always reference your book. I still reference my book on my fairy card deck that I have at home, and I use it every day. Yes, I'm better at knowing what they mean because I use my intuition now and I kind of get what that card is trying to say. But there are times where I'm like, I don't understand this. I got to read about it a little deeper to see how it pertains to me or to whoever I'm reading for. That's okay. It's totally fine. Another thing you can do is if you are feeling like you just aren't getting the signs, you're not getting the messages, I just want a really quick reading. What's going on? What do I need to know? You can actually just take your book and flip it. And then the page you land on is the card meant for you. So we have actually a book in our library called the Oracle book. That's exactly how it works. You think of your question, you breathe, you get grounded, hold on to the book, and then you just open it, and that's your reading. It's all about intuition. It's all about trusting. Again, we're going to get back to that. The main theme to all of this, if you haven't noticed, is trusting yourself and the universe and the cards, that you're going to get what you need to get out of it. Everything's not black and white. So it's not going to be exactly like the book says. It might have a specific meaning to you. And that's why it's nice to have someone who does kind of know a little bit about cards to kind of guide you in the right direction, because they'll be able to kind of show you that just because the book says that it's this, it might not be for you, because every one of us has a very unique situation. So just because the book says it's one thing doesn't mean that the card is still your message. What does it mean to you? How does that card pertain to you? That's what you have to remember when you're reading. All right, so we talked about the ways to use them. So yes, we have on October 5th an intuition class, which I have attended before, and it's really cool, and I highly recommend it. So go on our website or here on the Facebook page and check it out. October 5th, called How to Develop Your Intuition or Developing Your Intuition. Amanda's running that class, and it's really fun. It's very interactive, and you'll learn all about the different psychics and like clairvoyance, audiovoyance, all that, and how to, it's all about just trusting. Just go with it. Just trust yourself, okay? Trust the messages, trust the thoughts that are coming to you, okay? Cool class, check it out. And then we have Oracle card making class out of decks of cards. I haven't taken this one, but I'm pretty sure that's what she did last year on October 20th. So that's really cool because then you can make your very own deck and you learn how to use the deck and do your own readings from your own deck. So cool. I'm very interested in taking it this year myself. So definitely check that out. Another class that would be really good when you're learning about cards is the Smudge Basics. I forgot to write that one down, but I think it's October 12th. Smudging is a great way. We talked about that before in the clearing. It's a great way to clear anything. So taking that Smudge Basics, if you don't know much about sage and smudge and what it does and how it works, that's a great class as well to learn about this stuff. And Angela is going to be doing a basic card reading class in November. How cool. I didn't look that far. I just stayed in October because I'm in September. Like, to me, it's only September 10th. So, you know. So yes, Santana just said Angela will be having a basic card reading class in November. How fun is that? That's so cool. And I mentioned throughout the library, so all of these cards, we have angel cards, we have my favorite, oh, that's the back, the fairy cards. I have a different fairy card deck, but when I'm here, I like to use this one. I love my fairies. They're fun. They give you really fun, joyful messages. We have our goddess cards as well, if you're really connected to goddess. This one's my deck, but Santana can carry them if you're into the chakras. Obsessed with the chakras. As soon as I saw this, I just bought it. I didn't even ask. I didn't think about it. I just bought it. So we can have any type of card deck, almost any type of card deck can be ordered in through Witches Inc. at Santana. Just talk to her, message the page. She'll be more than happy to help you out if there's a specific deck you're looking for. We only have the one tarot deck as far as I could see, but we also have like cards out there that teach you how to read palms and like different stuff. Different stuff about angels and connecting and trusting your intuition and all that go hand in hand with your card reading. So it's only $1 to rent from our library. So you can take this deck out for $1 and try it before you actually buy it, which is kind of cool too, to see if it's your thing, to see if you like it, right? You never know. She has new ones coming in October because I wasn't going to do that today, but Witches Market's coming October 28th. I'm so excited. Okay, so now we're going to really quickly, because this video is taking forever because I ramble so much, we're going to talk about clearing your cards. So there's a few different things that I like to do. I'm just going to quickly move the tarot deck out of my way. Okay, yeah, it's not working out very well. Okay, so I have the fairy card deck out here in front of me. Silly girl. All right, so there's a few different ways you can do this, and this is all about you. What are your intentions? Every single video I talk about stuff, I'll always bring up intentions. What are your intentions? Do you have good intentions or bad intentions? If your intentions are good, then do whatever you want. You can just blow on them. And I'm blowing out any negative energies. I'm blowing off anyone's energies because my intention is that my breath is blowing in positivity. My energy is clearing off anything that does not belong on these cards with only love and light, okay? So that's one way you can clear your cards. Another way I like to do when I'm doing readings for multiple people is I knock. Everything's in threes. Okay, so, and that's personal again, but that's just the way I've learned all of this stuff. Everything's in threes, so knock it out. Knock it out. Good to go. So sometimes if I want the other person to touch the deck and put their energy in it, I will clear it first, make sure it's good, and then I hand it to them and I get them to knock it. So they're knocking out my energies and putting in their own energies. That's just my intention. And it works for me. It works great for me. I love that one. It's easy, it's quick, it's simple. When you get a new deck, or if you used your deck a lot and you're just like, these cards don't feel good, I'm not getting these messages, are the last few messages, nothing's pertaining, it's still not coming up, I don't feel good about this, your good old sage. Okay, so this is what I do when I get a deck, my very first new deck. I shouldn't say my very first, but every time I get a new deck, the first thing I do is light up some sage. This one's not going to light very good because I'm not good with these ones. I like the loose sage personally. These ones just don't do it for me. But anyways, I take my deck and I just run it over the smoke. One card at a time. Okay? That is one of the easiest ways to do it. I also really like to work with crystals in a lot of different stuff that I do. I find crystal work. So I would have a pile of, say, clear quartz, and maybe some citrine, some amethyst, some of my favorite powerful ones. And I would lay them in a circle. And as I cleared them, I'd put my card in the middle. So it makes it a little bit more ritualistic, which makes me feel stronger about it. The more that we add to our intention, the stronger that intention is, and the universe knows what we're doing. All right, so that's easy, right? There's no way that you can't do this at home. You just got to learn to trust yourself. Use these cards to trust your intuition. If you're working on your third eye chakra, this is a great way to work that muscle, right? Activate your intuition, activate those psychic abilities, okay? Yes, there's also Santana has, you don't have it here, we already talked about that, but she has a sun ring. So you can get the sun ring that she has there. It's absolutely amazing. It does everything, but you can use that to clear your deck. So you can just stick your deck of cards on in the middle of the sun ring. So the sun ring has got a round circle in the middle, and then it's got points that come out, and it's gold, like the sun. Ha, who'd have thought? Sun ring. Anyway, so you would just stick your deck of cards right in the center of it. They don't fit perfectly in it, but that's okay. It still does this job. Stick in the center of it and just leave it for a few moments, and that will also clear out all of the negative energy. If you want to learn more about the sun ring, message Santana at Witches Inc. or here in the Soul Center page, or come down anytime after about 4:30 or so, and she would be here. I'm more than happy to talk about it. Well, those must have just came in then, because last time I asked you for one, you said there was none, and that was a week ago. So I guess there are 2 sun rings in stock. So if you want to come down at any time, I can show you what they look like. Santana, again, is the guru on those. I'm still learning. But yes, come down, ask us about sun rings. It's the easiest way to clear your stones, it's clear your cards, clear anything. It's really awesome. It's really cool. And it helps you sleep too. Helps you sleep at night. Put it under your pillow. It helps neutralize. Is that the word I'm looking for? No, that's the neutralizer ring, which is the one that points inwards. But anyways, that's not what this video is about, and I'm taking a really long time here today, so I apologize. Thank you all for bearing with me on this really long video, but that's all I got for you today. I hope you guys learned something, and if you do have questions, again, if you're watching the replay, go ahead and ask away or come on down and see me. I'm now here Thursdays and Fridays, but you know what? I bet you if you popped in, I'd probably be here anyways, because I think I live here now. And that's okay. My family doesn't think it's so, but I think it's okay. All right, guys, I will talk to you later. Bye.